Welcome to our deep dive, into AI.
Yeah.
It's pretty fascinating stuff, and we've got some really interesting sources today, I think,
Yeah.
like expert talks and academic
Oh,
papers.
wow.
We even have some real-world case studies,
Okay.
which I think will kind of make you think, like, hold on, is that really happening? So
Yep.
we're going to be exploring the impact of AI,
Yeah.
not just like the gee whiz tech stuff,
Right.
but how it's actually like changing things for people,
Right.
like you and me,
Yeah.
everyday people.
Exactly. So, yeah,
Right.
I think one of the things that's so striking to me is how AI isn't just this, like, separate
Uh,
tech thing over there.
yeah.
It's really intertwined with us humans.
Yeah.
And Olivia Gamblin, who gave this really great TEDx talk,
Mm.
pointed out how AI mirrors us in so many
Oh,
ways.
wow.
Like, if you think about it,
Okay.
you've got robotics
Right.
for our bodies.
Uh-huh.
You've got neural networks for, like, our brains.
Okay.
And then all those massive data sets that they use,
Right.
those are kind of like reflections of our behavior.
Okay. So it's like AI is becoming this mirror
Yeah.
of humanity, right?
Yeah, I think that's a great way to put it.
But here's the thing
Okay.
that kind of jumps out at me.
Yeah.
If it's mimicking us so closely,
Right.
why aren't we talking more about the ethical side of it?
It really makes you wonder.
Right.
Like, we use ethics every single day.
Yeah.
Whether we realize it or not.
Right.
It's how we make decisions.
Uh-huh.
How we figure out what's right and wrong.
Right.
So shouldn't those same principles
Yeah.
be applying to the tech that we're building,
Right.
especially when it has such a huge potential impact?
That's a really good point.
Yeah.
And this isn't like some
Yeah.
far-off sci-fi dilemma either.
Right.
There are already some eyebrow-raising examples out there.
Exactly.
Like, remember that Amazon recruitment tool?
Oh, yeah.
Turns out it was showing bias against female candidates.
And then you've got facial recognition,
Right.
which the National Institute of Standards and Technology
Right.
found to be significantly less accurate
Wow.
when it comes to identifying Black and Asian faces.
Wow. That's troubling to hear.
Yeah.
Like, if we connect these dots, you start to see how those biases baked right into the system
Hmm.
could have some really serious consequences.
Exactly.
Imagine being wrongly arrested because of a faulty facial recognition match.
Yeah.
Or think about algorithms that end up
Right.
perpetuating existing inequalities.
It raises this crucial question.
Yeah.
How do we ensure that AI benefits all of us,
Right.
not just a select few?
Yeah, and that leads us right into
Yeah.
another major ethical challenge,
Yeah.
data privacy.
Yeah, big one.
Because at what point are we more
Right.
than just data points in this digital age? I mean,
Right.
the Cambridge Analytica scandal was a huge wake-up call, right?
Absolutely.
Millions of Facebook profiles harvested without consent,
Yeah,
all to target people with political ads.
that's right. Shoshana Zuboff.
Yeah.
She coined the term surveillance capitalism.
Okay.
I think that really hits the nail on the head.
Yeah.
It's like our data is constantly being tracked,
Right.
analyzed, and turned into a commodity.
It's almost like the price we pay for convenience
Yeah.
is a loss of control over our own information.
Hmm.
Like, where do we need to draw the line?
Right.
What trade-offs are we truly comfortable making?
Well, the good news is
Oh, okay.
there is a growing awareness
Okay.
of these ethical concerns.
Yeah.
In Europe, you have GDPR, a
Right.
General Data Protection Regulation,
Right.
and it's a big step towards transparency,
Okay.
giving people more control over their personal data.
That's encouraging to hear.
Yeah.
So regulations are catching up, which is great.
Yeah.
But what about the tech industry itself?
Hmm.
Are there any companies actually taking the lead on building AI ethically?
Like, definitely. IBM, for example, has been a leader in this space.
Okay.
They've developed a whole set of AI ethics principles
Okay.
that focus on transparency and fairness.
Okay.
They're even pioneering explainable AI,
Okay.
which is essentially building AI systems that can actually justify their decisions
Wow.
to us humans
Really?
in a way that we can understand.
So no more black box algorithms making decisions
Right.
that impact our lives without us even knowing why.
Exactly.
That seems like a huge step towards building trust.
Absolutely.
Right.
And then there are companies focused on privacy-enhancing technologies,
Okay.
like differential privacy,
Okay.
which is actually pretty ingenious. They're figuring out ways to analyze data
Right.
and get valuable insights
Okay.
without compromising individual privacy.
It's amazing how solutions are popping up.
Yeah.
Like, people are really starting to grapple with these challenges head on.
Yeah.
But here's the thing.
Yeah.
Even beyond the headlines,
Right.
there are some serious ethical questions
Yeah.
that aren't getting enough attention.
You're talking about issues like AI in warfare.
Right.
With the development of autonomous weapon systems,
Right.
those so-called killer robots,
Yeah.
it raises some pretty chilling questions.
Yeah,
Like, if a machine takes a human life,
right.
who's ultimately responsible?
That's a heavy one to think about.
Yeah,
It's straight out of a science fiction movie,
it is.
but it's becoming more real every day.
It is.
And we can't forget about AI's impact on the job market either.
Right. It's this double-edged sword,
Yeah.
the promise of new opportunities,
Right.
but also the potential for mass unemployment
Right.
as AI gets better at doing jobs that humans currently do.
So it's this tension between incredible innovation
Yeah.
and the potential consequences
Hmm.
that makes the ethics of AI
Right.
such a complex and fascinating puzzle.
It really is.
But the bottom line is this.
Yeah.
We're not just passive bystanders.
Right.
In this technological
Yeah.
revolution, we have a responsibility
Yes.
to guide AI towards a future that
Mhm.
reflects our values.
Exactly. And that's going to take a collective effort
Right.
from tech companies,
Yeah.
policymakers,
Mm,
researchers, even everyday people like you and me.
right.
We all have a role to play.
Yeah, definitely
It's not
does.
somebody else's problem.
Right.
It's all of our problem.
Yeah, absolutely.
We have to figure this out together.
You do.
If we want to make sure that AI
Yeah.
really benefits humanity in the long run
Right.
and doesn't lead to some unintended consequences
Yeah,
that we'll regret later on.
absolutely.
So it's time to start having those conversations
Yeah.
and figuring out what we want this future to look like.
Right. It's a call to action for all of us
Yeah.
to step up and be a part of this conversation. And
Exactly.
to help shape the future of AI in a way
Mhm.
that benefits everyone.
That's right.
So stay tuned for more
Yeah,
as we continue to explore this complex and fascinating topic.
absolutely.
It's a journey we're all on together.
It is.
So let's make sure we're heading in the right direction.
I agree with that.
We need to be mindful and thoughtful
Yes,
and make sure that this powerful technology is used for good,
that's right.
not for ill.
Absolutely.
So join us as we continue to explore the world of AI
Sounds good.
and its impact on our lives.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
And the choices we make today will shape the world of tomorrow.
It will.
So let's make sure we're making the right ones.
Absolutely.
Okay, great chatting.
Yeah, this was good.
We'll pick this up in the next part.
Sounds good.
All right. See ya.
See ya. Yeah, it's like we've been handed this incredibly powerful tool,
Yeah.
and now we've got to figure out
Mm-hmm.
how to use it wisely.
Right.
We can't just assume everything will just work itself out.
Right. Being proactive is key.
Exactly.
Like instead of just reacting to problems.
Yeah.
We should be thinking ahead.
Right.
And like building AI with ethical considerations
Yes.
baked in from the start.
Exactly. It's about shifting the mindset.
Yeah. Right.
We need to move away from that move fast and break things mentality
Yeah.
that's been so prevalent in the tech world.
Yeah, definitely.
Taking a moment to pause and really consider the potential consequences,
Right.
both good and bad,
Yeah.
is crucial.
It seems like slowing down a bit
Yeah,
could lead to better outcomes in the long run.
I think so.
But whose responsibility is it
Right.
to make sure this happens? Is it just up to the tech companies building these systems?
That's a great question.
Or should others be involved?
Yeah, and it highlights the need for a multifaceted approach.
Okay.
Tech companies definitely have a huge responsibility,
Yeah.
but they can't do it alone.
Right.
We need input from ethicists,
Mm-hmm.
sociologists, philosophers,
Okay.
even artists,
Interesting.
people who can offer different perspectives and help us anticipate potential pitfalls
Right.
that we might not even see coming.
Yeah, it's like we need to bring that human element back into the equation.
Exactly.
Technology is meant to serve humans.
Yes.
Not the other way around.
Absolutely.
It's about making sure that AI aligns with our values.
That's right.
Not the other way around.
It's about values alignment.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And part of that means acknowledging that technology isn't neutral.
Okay.
It reflects the values and biases of the people who create it,
Mm-hmm.
as well as the data it's trained on.
Right.
So we need to be really intentional about who's building these systems
Right.
and what data they're using.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
If we want AI to be fair and unbiased,
Yeah.
we can't just hope for the best.
Right.
We need to put mechanisms in place to actually ensure that happens.
Exactly.
Where do we even begin with something like that?
Well, the first step is to be really careful about the data we use to train these AI systems.
Okay.
It needs to be diverse and representative of the whole population,
Right.
not just a select group.
Oh, but
Otherwise, we risk perpetuating existing biases.
it's like the old saying, garbage in, garbage out, right?
Exactly.
You train an AI on biased data,
Yeah.
you're going to get biased results.
Right.
So data quality is paramount.
It is.
But what about after these systems are built?
Mm-hmm.
How do we make sure they stay on track?
That's where rigorous testing and auditing come in.
Okay.
We need to be constantly checking these systems throughout their entire lifespan, identifying and mitigating biases as they pop up.
So it's an ongoing process, not
Yes,
a one-time fix.
exactly. It's not a set it and forget it kind of thing.
Right. It's like building in checks and balances,
Yeah,
just like we have in other areas of society.
right. Like in government,
Right.
we have checks and balances to
Fancy.
prevent abuse of power.
But what about accountability?
Yeah,
If something goes wrong, who takes responsibility?
that's a critical question.
Yeah,
And unfortunately, there isn't always a clear answer.
right.
We need clear lines of responsibility,
Okay.
both within tech companies
Uh-huh.
and in our legal and regulatory frameworks.
Okay.
If an AI system causes harm, there needs to be a way to hold someone accountable,
Right.
whether that's the developers, the
Mhm.
company, or even the users.
It's like we need those digital guardrails in place, right?
I like that analogy.
Yeah.
Digital guardrails.
Clear rules of the road so everyone knows what's expected of them.
Yeah, clear expectations.
We've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive.
We have.
From AI bias and data privacy
Mm-hmm.
to the potential impact on jobs.
Yeah.
And even warfare.
It's a lot to think about,
It is.
but it's important to be
Yeah.
aware of these issues.
As we start to wrap things up,
Okay,
are there any other emerging ethical challenges
let me think.
that you're keeping an eye on?
One area that I think deserves more attention is the concept of digital autonomy.
Okay.
As our lives become increasingly intertwined with technology,
Yeah.
are we losing some degree of control
Right.
over our own choices and actions?
Interesting.
Think about how algorithms curate our news feeds,
Okay.
suggest products,
Mm-hmm.
even influence our dating choices.
That's an intriguing point.
Yeah,
It's almost like the more convenient our lives become,
Right.
the less agency we might actually have.
yeah, we're becoming so reliant on these systems
Right.
that we might not even realize how they're shaping our thoughts and behaviors.
Right, exactly.
And that raises some big questions
Yeah.
about how we design technology that empowers individuals
Okay.
rather than subtly manipulating them
Right.
or limiting their choices.
So it's about like finding that balance
Yeah.
between convenience and control.
Exactly.
We need to be aware of those like
Yeah.
dark patterns
Yes.
that are designed to exploit our psychology and nudge us towards certain behaviors.
Absolutely. And that's why digital literacy is so important.
Right.
We need to equip people with the knowledge and skills
Yeah.
to navigate this complex technological landscape.
Yeah, it's about empowering individuals
Yes.
to be active participants in this digital world,
That's it.
not just passive consumers.
Right.
It's about taking control of our digital lives
Yes.
and making conscious choices about how we interact with technology.
Precisely. And that's why education is so critical.
Right.
We need to start teaching these concepts early on,
Okay.
from elementary school
Yeah.
all the way through higher education
Yeah.
and beyond.
Mm-hmm.
The more people understand about AI,
Yeah.
the better equipped they'll be
Mhm.
to navigate its complexities
Right.
and demand better from the companies and systems they interact with.
It's about creating a generation
Yeah,
that's not just tech savvy,
right.
but also ethically aware.
It's a big task,
It is.
but it's essential for the future of our society.
Absolutely.
We need citizens who are informed, engaged,
Right.
and empowered to shape the future of technology
Yeah.
in a way that benefits everyone.
Right.
That's the goal. It really is, a massive undertaking, but one that's absolutely crucial.
Yeah.
If we want to build a future where AI is a force for good,
Right.
we need to start by empowering people to understand it,
Mm-hmm.
question it, and shape it.
It's like we've talked about before, technology is ultimately a reflection of us, of humanity.
Right.
So if we want AI to embody our best qualities,
Yeah.
we need to be really intentional about how we design it, develop it, and use it.
Absolutely. And that intentionality starts with asking the tough questions.
Okay.
Like, what values do we want AI to reflect?
Mm-hmm.
What kind of world do we want to create with this technology?
Yeah.
How do we ensure that it benefits everyone,
Right.
not just a privileged few?
Those are big questions.
They are.
But they're ones we can't afford to ignore.
Okay.
I think sometimes the rapid pace of technological advancement can feel overwhelming.
Right.
Like we're just along for the ride.
Yeah, just trying to keep up.
But this deep dive has really underscored the fact that we have agency,
Yes.
that we can shape the future of AI.
We absolutely do. And part of that agency comes from recognizing that technology is not neutral.
Okay.
It's a tool.
Right.
And like any tool, it could be used for good or for ill.
Right.
The future of AI is not preordained.
Yeah.
It's something we create together
Mm-hmm.
through the choices we make each and every day.
That's a powerful message.
It is?
Then it's a call to action for all of us to be more informed,
Yes.
more engaged, and more intentional about our relationship with technology.
Exactly. It's about taking responsibility for the tools we create
Yeah.
and using them to build a better world.
Mm-hmm.
And that starts with having those difficult conversations,
Right.
challenging assumptions, and pushing back against the status quo when necessary.
So, to all of our listeners out there, as we wrap up this deep dive into the world of AI, we
Mhm.
want to leave you with this thought.
Okay.
The future is not something that just happens to us.
Right.
It's something we create together.
We do.
And the choices we make today will shape the world of tomorrow.
They will.
So keep learning, keep questioning, and keep demanding better,
Yes.
because the future of AI is in our hands.
It is. It's up to all of us.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Yeah, this is great.
Until next time.